So we're down at the potager, sort of down in the centre of site. So there's the mill house, there's the pool, and here's our veg patch, or potager as they call them over here. And this morning we've been carting this rotted hay down here. About 2 weeks ago I'd hand scythed a load of grass to let it dry out into hay, and then it rained on and off for 2 weeks, never got a chance to get dry, and it just started rotting. So when you pick this lot up, it just oozes spores, mould spores, so it was no use for the donkeys. So we thought we'd try an experiment with a Ruth Stout style hay bed. So I mowed this piece of grass this morning next to our potager, and then we've covered it in this rotten hay, and then I've trodden it down. Tomorrow I'm just going to finish off. I need about another metre and a half, 4-5 feet on the front here, and then I'll water it. So I'll get a load of water out of the bondiat and water it, and this acts as a massive mulch, so all the grasses and everything underneath this will then be smothered and die, and then through this we can plant a load of young plants. So we plant them down into the soil, but they sit amidst this mulch. Now, on the basis that when Ruth Stout was asked how much hay, the answer was more. So you can see that in places, and I've compacted it down, it's a good foot and a bit thick, so none of the weeds should be able to get through this. If this works, it will be fantastic, because it will be really low maintenance, because none of the weeds will be able to thrust their way up through that much mulch. It will also be feeding the soil bacteria and feeding the soil invertebrates that will help break everything down and make it more fertile. Sorry, distracted there. Fantastic little butterfly. Don't know what it is. Have to go and get the camera. Okay, so that's the start of a Ruth Stout hay bed, which along with our other beds where we've used donkey muck as experimental mulch as well, and see how that goes. I mean, here's one. It's going very well. There are weeds coming up in it, but not many. It's where you leave a gap, nature will put a plant in there. So the idea is you plant very closely and smother out all the weeds, so you only get plants there that you want there. So this Ruth Stout method is supposed to be acting as the smothering that a load of plants would do. So your plants that you plant through it should have loads of good nutrient and resource all to themselves. All right, well, we'll see how it goes. Cheers then.